One, please. Thank you. Oh, congratulations.
Am I upside down? What's going on? The truth? I don't know if this should be. Am I sideways? Can I even be heard? Okay, am I sideways? Should I go this way? Better? Is that better? Yes, I can hear you. Okay, is this better? All right. Rotate device. Okay, I rotated it. So I hope it's in a perfect. Oh wow, I didn't have no idea how that thing had switched up. But anyway, greetings to everyone. So today, our topic is the lost word. The lost word is today's topic, and I'm going to come to you out of the Masonic ritual, where after they had killed Hiram Abiff, they took him on a Wesley course, and there they were sent out to raise that body. And there they said that the word was lost. And so we're gonna have that conversation because in the up and coming degrees in your Masonic work, bro, I sent you an email. Okay, I have to check it out. I have to check that out. So in the rotate devices on my screen. All right. So with that being said, in the degree work itself, you can go and look. We're just having a conversation. I know a lot of people who have Masonic rituals, never been a Mason. So, so this stuff you can Google and look for yourself, but I'm just going to touch on the topic just for a little bit today. So look, check it out. So as they had killed or slain Hammer Biff, right? They took him on a Wesley's course and they buried him. And there they placed an acacia at the head of the grave so they would be able to recognize it when they come back looking for it. However, skipping some of the parts of the legend, they come back and they raise his body. And in the process, they give a substitute word that is only supposed to be given in the lodge or in a low breath or in distress. All right, they give a substitute word. Now, I've heard this word and given in 3 different ways. All right, and I'm not going to discuss that here. This is for when we do our private Zoom meetings. This is where we go into that type of conversation. But anyway, with that being said, when they raise this body uh, up, when they raise this body up, they give this substitute word. And something that we tend to forget, they say that the word, the actual word, can only be given. Only can this word be given in the presence of Hiram-Abiff, King Solomon, and Hiram-Atai. That was the only way that this word can actually be translated. Well, if you go into, once you have gone into the Royal Arch degree, once you've gone there, you're supposed to have found the missing word. This is where you are supposed to have been given the word or find the word which is lost. Well, I would tell you this, and this is what I've personally found. Seeing that there's no J in the letter at the time, and we all can agree it's a known fact that there was no J around that time. So what letter is replaced of the J? And if so, how would you pronounce it? I'm just saying, please hit the like button for me. Hit the like button for me. I need for you to understand, brothers of the craft, just for a minute. There's no letter J around at the time. So when you enter into your Royal Arch degree, and they give you this so-called word that was lost, and now you find it, because in the Royal Arch degree, there are two destructions of the temple. Okay, there are two destructions of the temple in the Royal Arch degree. And it's also in the Royal Arch degree, I'll say the same thing about Jerusalem. Look. So it also in the Royal Arch degree, they when they give you this so-called lost word or the real word in that degree, you need to go back and check some stuff out. I mean, legitimately, go back, check some stuff out for yourself. And I'm gonna tell you this, you are going to be surprised. Absolutely. Absolutely, you're going to be surprised. And what I've learned, and most of you probably already know, there is a lot of word play that is going on in the Masonic works. There's a lot of word play that is going on. And unless you go back and look at some of the old Masonic rituals, you will see the word play. You will see the changes that happens in the Masonic ritual, just like they happen in the Bible. I'm gonna point out just a couple of things real quick, and I'm not gonna be here a long time today, so I'm gonna point this here out to you. So you know, in the Bible, when you're saying the Lord's Prayer, you know they have changed that already. The Lord's Prayer is not that old school prayer anymore. If you go back, you can see for yourself that the Lord's Prayer that was said in the 70s and 60s is not the same one that they say now. It is not. It is a proven fact that has been changed. Why? I don't know, but it's been changed. So just as it is in the Masonic doctrine, in the Masonic ritual, when you go back and you read for yourself, especially some of the old Masonic writings, you will find out some things have changed, just like I was talking the other day in regards to the St. John's. And you will see how things begin to change. And that's because Masonry is a progressive science. However, I believe there are some things, because of the historic value to the craft, should not be tampered with or changed. However, what happens is when Masonic organizations or jurisdictions are developed, they begin to adjust to the society for which they find themselves in. And this is how we came up with the two St. Johns. And that went from Moses to Solomon, or Noah to Moses. You went from them being St. John's to now you have St. John's the Baptist and St. John the Evangelist. It's a transition of the progressiveness in Freemasonry, and it also shows you a time and change for which the society finds itself in. And this is how you got the two St. John's. This is how you had the changes in the what's going on. And this is how you got the changes in the Lord's Prayer. It has totally been switched up. You just got to go read it for yourself. And this is why it's important for you who are listening to go get them old books. Just because something is old, don't think it has no value or no uses because of wordplay, word changes. And I can tell you this, and you already know this. A lot of you are very educated, and you've already done a lot of reading. I've spoken to quite a few of you, and you know how words change and the meaning of words change. Just like when I was a kid coming up, gay meant that you was happy. It was a word of, it was okay to use the word gay. And as things change, oh, now it's a slander type of word. And it was never meant to be that way. It meant someone who was happy. It meant someone who was joyous, had a little joy in their heart. You know what I mean? But that's been changed. It's flipped. So you have to look at words for what they really are and what they really mean. So when you go back and you see the way when they brought up Ham and Biff and they gave us a substitute word, and I would tell you this in my own findings, of the letters that I'm looking for, it's hard to pronounce the actual word which is lost. To me, I'm speaking for me. Now I may find some people out there who's a linguist, who knows how to properly pronounce words, and I know a couple of Masonic brothers who are very, very well skilled at that, and I'm gonna take them that which I found and share that. Freemasonry eats Oreos. Freemasons eat Oreos. I'm gonna have to come back to that one because I don't know where you're going with it, but I think I do, but I don't wanna touch it and be totally off. So I'm gonna come back to that one in that remarks. Lock, rotation, lock off. I don't know how to take that off. Did the Fruit of Malone logo used to have a? Yes, it did. A long time ago. A long time ago it did. Yeah, it did a long time ago. But as you know, things change, and what one word meant at that time means something totally different. And that can really do society a lot of harm. It can really do a lot of harm to society. So the best thing I would tell anybody to do is to go do their own research on these, for that time. For that time, for the words that are being used, go do your own research. And you come up with some amazing things. I'm telling you, the door is truly open. Just like I would tell you this, the lost word that was given is a Hebrew word. It is a word that is mispronounced. It is a word that is corrupt. And when I say corrupt, it is corrupt because the way it is pronounced, the way it is spelled. I will give you that. And then when you go back and you research it for yourself, you're going to have an aha moment because the word that was given is interesting. It's interesting. I don't know about you, but I would tell you this for myself, and I'm going to share this with you. I know most of my brothers and my sisters who are Christians, usually when they pray, they use in the name of Jesus. And what I've learned, anything you put energy into, literally, hear me clearly, literally anything you put energy into, anything you put in back, and when I say back, I mean you pushing it forward. This is it. No more, this is it. It takes on a life of itself. Because when you go read scripture, it tells you that God himself, I'm the giver of life and death. I bring forth good and I bring forth evil. Says it right there. I'm telling you, man, words are like, oh my God. When you go look up some of this stuff in the Masonic rituals, especially in those old rituals, you be like, oh, you have that moment. You do. And I would tell you this, even in some of the appending bodies in the degree work, it will make you think, literally, think in regards to this journey that you're on. And it should do that. It really should that. It really should do that. Greetings, everybody who's coming on. Oh, yeah. Albert Pike made the degrees more complicated. Well, I would tell you this, Albert Pike, he took a lot of the degree work that we know of as in the Scottish Rite. He took a lot of that from the primitive rites. That's a known fact. That's not something that somebody just thought of and said. No, Albert Pike took a lot of the Scottish Rite degree work from what we know of as the primitive rites. And the reason being, from what I found for myself, is because they're more esoteric, more intertwined with the inner spiritualities of Masonry. That's where that's at. That's what I've found for myself now. You may find something different, but I'm sharing with you what I've come across, what I've found in regards to Albert Pike and what he's done with Moggs and Dogma. If you go and look at any of the primitive rites degrees and how they're written out, they're just the same as your Scottish Rite. They're the same. And people often say, well, there's no degrees higher than your first 3 degrees. Well, okay, if you say that, if you believe that, okay. If you think that there's no more degrees higher than that of a 3rd degree Mason, if that's all you got, that's all you think, I'm cool with that. But on this journey, if you indulge yourself, you're gonna find out a lot of stuff that you learned in your first 3 degrees gets switched up. It gets switched up. You hear me? It gets switched up. You get to find out that the things that you read in your 3rd degree in regards to Hiram Abiff and his death, you get to find out that that is a direct correlation with him in Horus. A direct correlation. Because although it is not mentioned in your Masonic ritual, they took vital parts of Hiram Abiff and they scattered them. Yeah, they did. Hear me clearly. They took vital parts of Hiram Abiff and they scattered them. And I did something on that a while ago. And I told you that these parts was buried in various different places. And later they was found. Yeah, you go figure that out. I'm just saying that, like my boy Kyrie said, reading is superpower. Oh, he bust me up when he said that. He killed me when he said that. That's true though. That's true. 369, a complete circle. You know. So I don't argue with people when they tell me, oh man, it's only 3 degrees in Masonry. That's 3 degrees that you know about. That's all you know. Them other degrees, the primitive rites and Scottish Rite, oh man, them honorary thing, man, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, if you believe that, you know, but I would tell you this, and I've said this often, you leave this country, you would discover some crazy degree work, some crazy, man, what's the other word I'm looking for? Not just degrees, but Masonic work, you know. A police officer accidentally shot a student just a few minutes ago. Y'all see that story come up on the national news. It should. I just, man, I don't believe it. But anyway, we're gonna continue with this with this right now. You know, you will find that to be a correct thing. You know, as you venture in. So greetings everybody who's about to come in. What's going on, Nico? We in the building. I appreciate you coming in. I'm not a Freemason, but I would sure like to take this opportunity to thank Brother Tony Muhammad and everyone that participates in these discussions for piquing my interest in becoming one? Well, I would tell you this, bro. This journey in Freemasonry is one, when you take it, it's a hell of a ride. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it because of the things I've had to do, not just had to do, but the things I've done and the people I've met, the friendship I've built. Because what Freemasonry does, it brings men together. What it does is not only brings us together, but because of the fraternal bond that you have, it's an awesome thing. It is an awesome thing. People can say whatever they want. When you come across a real Masonic brother, someone who's really astute to the craft, not one who talks about it. I'm talking about one who bees about the work of the craft. See, they say that Masons make good men become better men. Nah. See, I used to believe that. I used to believe that, my brother. Masons don't help good men become better men. You are who you are when you become a Mason. What Masons do, we help you to become a good Mason. That's what we do. We don't help you to become a better man, we help you to become a better Mason. Because that's what you join. You join the ancient fraternal order of Freemason, or the ancient free and accepted Mason, or the free and accepted Mason, or the ancient York Rite free and accepted Masons, or the man, there's so many titles. But the last title on each of them is Mason. No matter how you cut it up. You may not like the way someone does their work as far as their openings or for how they do financial. That's not your business. What is true is, have you found that brother to be worthy and well qualified? Now that is true. And I would tell you this. You may think that you know it all, like myself. I used to think I knew it all. Until you come across other brothers who have been well-traveled, well-traveled brothers, they will change your whole mindset. They will do that. They will change your whole mindset. So look, I only got a couple more minutes left on here today. But this has really been great to be able to come before you today and have this conversation on the lost word. Nico, when you get an opportunity, you call me. I'm gonna tell you about it. All right, and give that to you so you'll have that in your cookie jar. All right, I'm gonna give that to you. You can have that in your cookie jar. Brother Nico Sanchez just crossed over into the Delta of the LOP. He's now an ELU, and I want to welcome him aboard into the Delta. You know, and I would tell you this: when you think that you know it all and you're supposed to be so sharp, when you go into these appending bodies and it asks you, have you made suitable proficiencies in the preceding degree? And you say yes, and then when somebody asks you a question in regards to that degree work, and it goes blank. It goes blank. So the word is lost. Nah, it's been found. You just have a mispronunciation of the word. That's what you have. I would tell you that. But I won't give my personal opinion about what the word really is. That's going to have to be on our live Zoom that we do. So if you're interested in joining that conversation, hit me up. Leave your email at jgjafam@yahoo.com. I don't care about your jurisdiction. This is strictly a Masonic conversation, and you're going to have to let me know what Grand Lodge you're in, what lodge you're in, and send a dues card. And then we're going to add you to this conversation. I do the same thing for the Sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star when we have our live Zoom. So until next time, peace and be well. Nico, hit me up when this is off, all right? And we'll have that conversation. All right, brothers of the craft, sisters of the order, Godspeed and be blessed. I'm out.